You're just in time. Saved you a seat for the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And tonight is all about contending with the unknown. To begin with, the unknown holds a whole ton of fear for so many of us. That desire to head towards a direction that appears to be very ideal. This would be really important for you to know why, and that's a big part of it, knowing what you are going after in life. But no matter how sweet it looks or how wonderful this treasure appears to be, you will never know until you take all the time that is required. And in this way, no one knows how long it'll be either, but it's all the time that life demands of you. I mean, notice already, once again, all of these answers for, well, what exactly is it going to be like? And how long is it going to take me to get there? And, what kind of life am I going to have to live? All of it is one gigantic, very unfortunate, I don't know. You can't after a certain point. You figure out what you really want out of life. This is where you would try to draw so much of the motivation, so much of the reasoning and the why for you to do what you do. And that's very important because you want that to continue to fuel all of your endeavors, all of that effort that you're going to have to pour in every single day, at least a little bit, ideally as much as possible every single day. That's what really gets you chugging along. This is you, like, in it. You are running the marathon and you're headed there. As this is happening, it's as if the more you do and the more you self-improve and the better you get, the more unknown you are actually going to have to face. I do believe this. The better a man gets at living life, and the more you grow and the more you progress, that can start with just a few things. Self improvement can very well begin. In my experiences, oftentimes it does. It begins with, I'm going to try to get in shape. I'm just trying to make a little bit more money every single month. Just increase the monthly cap. Going to try to just talk to more people. You know, forget about the cringiness and the awkwardness and whatnot. I'm really just going to try to foster better social adaptation. Any kind of situation with anyone to be more secure and comfortable and confident and whatnot. Just getting better at these things in life. If you're really trying to get jacked and you're trying to sculpt and mold the best physique possible of what your genetics and your body is capable of, and you really want to take it from an extra couple $100 every month to as much money as possible to financial freedom. You really want to take it from, okay, I am not as awkward saying, "Hi, how are you?" to a complete stranger. And you want to try and put yourself in a position in life where you're surrounded by a like-minded tribe. These are all actually really good friends of yours. People very close to you. Because you guys, after so many times of hanging out and getting to know each other, okay, and putting yourself out there, you have cultivated very deep connections with other people. And maybe, the one, of course, for really all men, the most important is you and your one true queen. I want you to see it from that baseline. When you're first starting out, it's very difficult That can be the goal. That can be tons of money and the wifey and the best shape you've ever been in your entire life. Yes, let that be the goal. But now remember, the hard part is all of this space between you and what you want in life. That space right there is the bulk, it is the majority of the unknown. And so many guys will look at this and, I mean, what is it really? If I could try and paint this for you, this is a gigantic chasm. This is like the Grand Canyon. Have you ever been to the? I haven't yet. I would love to go. I've seen some pictures and videos. It looks lovely. But that is a massive valley. And then for the unknown, you want to picture the size of this kind of landscape, and it's nothing but darkness. You can't see anything. All you can see is the emptiness, the vast space of anything goes and anything can happen. This is such an integral part of life, all of life. It it will spark a very stark duality for any human being to ever be to that is ever going to be born. And what I mean is that duality is when you have the unknown and right, you don't know what it's going to be like until you're there, until you're doing it, or until you get there. And so that can be very exciting, super exhilarating. This is something to look forward to. This is something to give you hope. This is something to be super hyped up and pumped up about, because it's that anticipation. It's that, wow, well, and kind of suspense too. If it's going to be anything like what I'm thinking about, then I can't wait to be there. Let me go. Let me try to get there. Let me do everything that I need to do to ensure I arrive. And then, of course, see, this is the one we pay too much attention to. It's the one that gets you, the one that keeps you stagnant and in place and immobile, doesn't let you leave. And that's the other side of this coin, is black and white in this way. And the other side is, and if you fail, and if it all goes wrong, and if it doesn't work. And here's a really big one. This one's tough. This one's so tough. I feel as though this one's bothering all of us as men who are not checked out, who are trying in life. What if you give it your best shot? You give it everything you have. You give it your whole life. You give it your best years. You give it your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s. You give it all the consistency you could possibly sustain. You're there day in and day out. You really are actually on the grind, week in and week out, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and it just keeps going. You are relentless and you won't stop until it happens. And so then what? Does it become perpetual? You really just don't stop? I mean, you see, you and I are mortal beings, though. It that we learn this from such a young age. At one point or another, of course, it's going to stop. You know, life. Just circumstances. I believe God will stop you eventually, in in some way. Not to give you any kind of anxiety right now. Self-improvement is probably already giving you tons of that. No, but we must look at it in its most uh, purest form of truth. And so, because you and me know that at some point there is an end, then that's what kind of automatically, very naturally, puts these high stakes in the game of life. Now it's not. Let me just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. I mean, that's what you're going to have to do. But in the back of our minds, maybe it's not even really back there. Maybe it's up here all the time, a little bit too much, right? And you're thinking, I don't know where or when that finish line is, but I have to beat it. I got to beat it. And then if I do beat it, well, how much time do I have in between making it all work and achieving the success and living my very best life? How much do it's it's like working so hard to try to get into this club, this secret club, because we've all heard that inside this club it's really hard to get into, and somewhere in there is everything that you want. All the money, all the happiness, all the joy, your family, the house, the fulfillment, the work you care about, the dream career, all of it, everything that your heart desires. And it's we all know how much work it takes to become successful in life. An absurd amount is what it takes. There's no going around this. And when you know that, and you're trying to get inside, and then you really just can't help but think, how long do I even get to stay there before I have to leave? Before the last breath, your final day. And all of that can mix and fuse into this really nasty behemoth of that is made up of all of this negativity, of everything and anything that the unknown is able to use to make you feel so bothered, to make you get so down on yourself. You can drown in this if you're not careful. It can stop you from ever truly living. It's at this point, taking this deep dive into the unknown and its importance for becoming the best man you can possibly be. It's always at this point that I'm reminded it's not a coincidence that I've seen these interviews, and they've done so many. They go to like these retirement homes, they go to these nursing homes, and they speak to human beings they are living out their final days. Okay, they're at the tail end of this one long, lifelong human experience. And so these are folks in their 80s, 90s, in the hundreds, God bless them. And they're all asked that question you probably already know. What's the big regret? If you could go back, what would you change? What would that be? Every single one of them says, I wish I had done more. Every single person says, I wish that I would have done that thing. I would have tried. I would have given it some time. Because the realization, and this is actually pretty scary, it's not whether you succeed or fail. That's not what bothers them. What bothers them is that unknown of their own lives. This vast space, this canyon of the unknown. It gets locked. The doors close shut for the last time. Whatever was there. Now remember, of course, duality. Amazing. Oh my God, this is a nightmare. That's all in the unknown, because The unknown is possibility itself. And so it'll lock, and then you're dealing with this. I imagine it as a pretty agonizing pain. I will never get to know forever, forever and ever and ever. I don't, maybe on that day when you are before God, maybe that's when you could find out. But even then, that's a maybe. That's still human speculation. We don't know how exactly it's gonna be like. I mean, who knows? Dad might be behind that. What the judges in the court they sit up on with the big wooden podium, or not, or maybe it's going to be like a campfire, and both of us cross-legged and just looking up at this really sizable god, much bigger than you and I, and then it's just like a heart-to-heart conversation. Yeah, who, like, again, it just cannot be said, and that is a really big maybe. That you're told that you're gonna find out. I'm gonna and so this comes down to very personal opinion. I mean, what you think will happen and how you think it goes down is just as valid as how I think it will go down. So if you'd like to hear it from me, then I don't think anyone tells us. I don't think it. I'm not so sure it works like that. I think it's going to be a little bit too focused on the judgment of, okay, let's see exactly how it went down for you. So, all right, we're going to pull up your choices and decisions, but you know, that's the Christian perspective. Just to be real, and just keep it on male self-improvement. I, you know, without the consideration of death, just living life itself, there's no way. It's so crazy. You want to think about, all of possibility. That's so much. Just like options, choice. Okay, let me can I pick this, or maybe I'll pick that, or let me sift through. Like, what's okay? Which decision do I make? There isn't any. It's it's so simple. It's as if it's all made for you. And the reason I say that is because there is only one. I mean, the way that I see it, the way that this works out in my head, there is only one that exists. And that one is, you have to go. That's the regret. We have all these people, and they made it. And they made it, which is, that's a feat in and of itself, to make it through, the formative years, and then adolescence, and then the rebel years, and then the young and restless years. There we go. The young and restless years. And then the, oh crap, I need to do something years, right? The true adulting years. Okay, what is this? 30s, 40s, 50s. And then the retirement years and the winding down years, and why is this so creaky years? And okay, you know, uh, I've heard, going to sleep is awesome when you're young. Going to sleep when you're old is a combat sport. Okay, and that's going to be really interesting for, are you around me? It's going to be, okay, quite the experience for both of us to behold in the future. Let's not think about that right now. I don't want to think about that right now. But you make it through all of that. You make it through all of that, bro. And then it gets more quiet. It gets pretty chill. You are, some nursing home, some retirement home, somewhere, hopefully, right? And you're kind of just, right, just very peacefully. That's why we have these places. It's for those who, made it on the way, and now it's, kind of just, oh, take your time, and just as you are on your way out, we want to make that as tranquil, and as calm, and as peaceful, and as relaxing as possible. I believe, you know It's very difficult. You, as you can see, it's very difficult for me to think about myself. If I get lucky, something like, yes, it's just around, maybe a little bit over, a little bit under. Again, if I'm lucky, but it's around half a century from now for me. And so thinking about that, yeah, it's kind of a little bit difficult to imagine. But I can already say for myself, oh, I would definitely want that. Uh, I don't. Is that weird? I'm just saying. I would like, my favorite animes and my favorite shows and whatnot to be in my room so I could watch. And the TV dinners and whatnot, and I don't know, let there be some pizza and some pasta and some. I love it all. Maybe some ramen and all that good stuff, and some games, my favorite titles to play, and that's it. That's it. And bingo night, right? And what else do they do? And um, kind of a seated dance party. Is that? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just, I don't want anyone hurting themselves. I don't know if they actually really like get up and get groovy, but you know what I'm saying? You can be in the okay, it's fine. All right. This example is turning into shambles. So reaching that point in your life, I can't imagine the satisfaction of the few. I wonder how good it would really feel to make it, you know, to your final years as a human being, and you don't have that regret. That's not a that's not a bother, because you took the time, your this deep chasm, this canyon of the unknown, you took the time to reveal it. You dove in, brother. You explored. You got down and dirty. You really, like, you gave it a shot. You know what I'm saying? You checked it out. What is down here? Okay, and you start drawing the map. Oh wow, this is what's over here. If I take a left, okay, we're not coming back here. That was crazy. I'm good with that. Let's go back over here. Take a right, and you take a right, and wow, this is quite nice. Maybe I'll stay on this for a decade or two. This is pretty dope. Oh wow, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what I do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean, bro? That's what it really is. This is why the unknown is so necessary. This is why you need the unknown. It's not some you it's natural to be afraid of it, but you can't let that fear stop you from getting into it, for sure. And it's much easier said than done. I mean, you and I, we are capable of so many different kinds of conflicting emotions. Oh, please, I really do want to self-improve. I really do want to live my best life. I would love to, experience all these outcomes that I dream of, that I know I want, because I know myself well enough. I know myself well enough. I want this. This looks great. This looks fantastic. I don't know. You ever go to a new restaurant and they got that menu, and you read the menu like, oh, okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Oh my god. Yep, that's it right there. Waiter, like you don't even wait for the waiter or waitress to come back. You literally just start waving them down. Okay. We should all try not to be that guy. But you're just too excited because you see what you really want in life. And so, okay, this is it. And this is why I'll go. But you can't help but feel where I'm going. I have never been before. I have never done this before. I've never really tried this before. Never really lived like this. I don't even feel like I belong here. I don't, I'm not sure if this is really meant to be. It's so much, you know, what I'm trying to describe, these kind of negative and intrusive thoughts, what I'm really trying to get at right here is so much of it is doubt. And doubt, to me, is we are, as human beings, we're trying to save ourselves from potential pain. That's why doubt happens. So you doubt it, and if you doubt it hard enough, you can try and convince and persuade yourself, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stay away from this. No, I'm good. And oh, hey, and if anyone questions you, if anybody, the world, whoever is like, what do you mean you're not going? What the heck? What? You just told me you wanted this. Well, okay, well then you're gonna have to do this. But then, when the doubt is solidified, when you work it out enough in your head, then you can, right? You can wield the doubt as a shield to protect yourself. What? Hold on a second. Check out my justifications and my rationales. And the worst ones, my excuses. I have so many. Take your pick, and I'll break it down for you, right? It goes on and on and on and on. I just don't have the time right now. I'm too busy. I'm so tired. I'm getting killed out here. I'm just trying to survive. You really trying to tell me to contend with the unknown after I get back home from work? Bro, that's a really long shift. I just want to put my feet up and chill. I'll think about this on the weekends, and the weekends come, and you kind of want to just keep chilling because that's what the weekends are for. Or are they? See, that will always be a decision that rests on you. However, you make it. I just want the biggest takeaway for tonight. If you don't get anything else out of this in terms of value, I need you to see, I need you to really, I want to deeply press into you this understanding. The unknown is never something that should bother you. It is if I could try to pivot this in a more biological sense, then, way back in the day when, pre-civilization, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I am definitely speculating. When I speculate, sometimes I reach. And, feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments below. But it makes sense to me that back in the day, when we were very nomadic, and it really was just, den to den and cave to cave, and to survive, what we could not see and what we did not understand was actually very dangerous. you know, I don't know what's in the bush. I should probably stay away until I can somehow know, until that information is revealed to me in some way, shape, or form. Until then, I'm good. Nope, no bush. Let's go this way. Let's go around. Let's go the other way, because maybe in the bush is an exotic, delicious fruit that tastes like chocolate, or I don't know, some kind of dessert fruit. I don't know. I picture our ancestors like, oh my God, this is amazing. And that's where dessert came from. It definitely didn't work like that, but it's all good. Or it's like a freaking tiger or lion or something. Okay? I don't know. Hey, even worse than that, who knows? Back in those times, who knows? Literal, like an actual boogeyman. Okay? Like Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? Bigfoot from back in the day, when Bigfoot could kind of, before we started raising societies, and Bigfoot was just like, oh, like, really? All right, I'm just gonna go into the forest and just chill there forever. But before then, I totally see Bigfoot, just all just like strolling around all over the place. And I don't know how like nice he is. He might have an appetite for human beings. Really, that is the essence of the unknown. What the frick is in that bush, bro? I don't know. Let's not mess with it. Now you fast forward to today, 2025. I'm like, hey man, like, how you living? You all right? You doing good? Can't complain. Is that not the go-to for all of us when anyone asks? Can't complain. Not too bad. How about yourself? That's what you say. But maybe what you really want to say is, with you kind of dying inside, what you really want to, reveal to the world, if you could, is, I hate everyone and everything. I don't. My life, it sucks. This is so bad. I want to do something else. I want to go somewhere. I want to be somewhere. I want to be better. I didn't picture it like this, and it's been like this for way too long. Oh my goodness. It's like everything's on fire. You're in your kitchen. You're sitting down trying to have a nice meal, and it's like you pretending the flames are not bothering you. Like, pretending you can't feel the heat, pretending you can't see. Okay, everything going up in smoke. Yeah, yes. I, of course, I'm talking about that classic meme with the yellow dog, and he's just like, this is fine. This is fine. No, bro, it's absolutely not fine. Extinguishing it and dealing with it is heading into the unknown. You need it. It's almost as if it's because we don't know that trying to deal with it in a very, yes, strategic, precise, controlled, you know, analyzed manner. Yeah, all of that's necessary. You should give it some thought. You should make sure, hey, do I really want to go this way? Do I really want to do this? Like going back to school, that's like a really big decision for adults. Oh, do I really want to reinvest 4 years of my life because I lived enough of life to find out, hey, I think I actually really want to get into this, and to get into this, I need that degree. It doesn't even have to be like that. I mean, with the power of the internet nowadays, really anything you want to do is accessible. It's there. The answers, the information, and the data for you to work with, for you to figure out and understand, so you can apply it and try yourself. It's just doing that takes you to places that you've never been, and that's, oh God, that's so tough. That's so difficult to really sit there and accept that. It's crazy. To be an entrepreneur. It's one of the best things I ever heard about entrepreneurship. You want to talk about the unknown? Is that they say it's really not for those with a weak stomach. It's really not for those for the faint of heart, because you have to deal with so much to really try to make the big bucks. And really, throughout all of it, you like, right, you have any day now, any hour, any minute. Okay, does it really get that extreme? To any second, bankrupt, closed, like closed down. It failed. It's the very best lives, though, are always the ones where, in those states of disaster, somehow, some way, by sheer willpower or whatever it is, you have to muster the mentality. I'm really trying to strip away everything. I'm really trying to help us get to the foundation of, like, what is it really? It's got to be a mentality. It's got to be an attitude. I mean, I'm still alive and I can still do stuff. Then let me try and do for what I want, despite despite being able to know whether I can really make it there or not. That's what this is. That's what it all comes down to. And that's why, and I'll close on this, to really try to help you, not, with a clear understanding of exactly what the unknown is and how we all look at it, and its importance, its necessity, its kind of its relationship, how it ties into the happenings of humanity. You want to start small. You want to build up. You it doesn't have to be a headlong nosedive leap of faith into that canyon, the Grand Canyon of the unknown. But no, you really can just you start at the very top, wherever you are. You're sitting on that ledge, and you slowly lower yourself down. You go level by level. You go step by step, and you just have to make sure that you are able to enjoy what it is that you're doing down there, that you're able to say, because I live like this is how I know I want to live, this because this is what I want, and because this is what I want, this is what I have to do, and that's why I do this, why I live like this. Exploring in this manner throughout the vast spaces of the unknown has to be the absolute best way to do it. Because then, the longer you are contending with the unknown of your life, the more you realize, wow, I mean, going this way to places I've never been and things I've never done, going this way was so scary in the beginning. But now I really can't imagine doing it any other way, because it actually doesn't, it matters so much less whether you have it or not, whether you make it or not. I mean, always know, right? Always have that in the back of your mind. Always, right? Let the dream light the tunnel, but in terms of traversing the tunnel, you got to let that be the best part, because that's most of it. That's most of it. And for you, for everyone, all of us, you know, a lot of it, especially if you're in the beginning, a lot of that is uncontrollable and unpredictable. But then when you live it and you go this way, that's how you find that kind of life where chasing the best quality of your life allows you to live the best quality of your life. And that's what I want for you. That for anyone who sees this and they're sick of just staying put in the same exact spot simply because they're having that much anxiety and that much fear of really taking the first step into where you've never been. Where you've never been may very well be the best place you could ever try to go. I really do mean that. And the craziest thing, the last point for tonight, the craziest thing is you'll never be able to say, I lied. That's not possible. You'll only be able to say that after you have experienced the outcome. But I said never, because I believe when you have taken the time to go that deep and really take that, you go that far into the adventure and you run for that long in your marathon of life, your process, what it takes for you to be great and for you to chase success, that outcome will be significantly, I want to say infinitely better than whatever it is you have right now. And that's why you should go. That's why you should go, brother. You ever find yourself in need of assistance, though? A little bit of help to keep you on track and keep you, continually conquering new places you've never been to before in all the unknown parts of your life. Well, you feel free to come right back here and check out this podcast. That's what I do. I talk about everything and anything that goes into all of this because you're watching The Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self-improvement, surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Kumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. I thank you so much for being here. If you like content like this, hit that subscribe button for me and give me a like as well. I hope to see you real soon in the next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.